this is Richard and I am Harry. Thanks very much for tuning into this exciting episode.
It is pretty exciting.
Gotta breathe now.
It is continuing on from part one, so remember to check the link out above for part one. And when we finish up, what did we do on that episode, Harry?
Yes, so
it's exciting. We were building a subskimmer. Well, maybe I'll backtrack a bit. So subskimmer. So what is a subskimmer? Just give them a little quick idea of what it is, because we've got lots of questions about what is this gadget. Some were thinking it was some kind of flying device above the water. No, it's not. It
goes like a ground effect vessel.
Yeah, no ground effect. This is entirely maritime. A
maritime boat. It is a special forces special delivery vessel for. That's why you wouldn't have heard too much about the design.
Well, it means they've done it correctly.
It's secret squirrel stuff. So the idea is to get in quick, fast along the water using an outboard, and when you get real close to the enemy.
Or opponent.
Yep, the enemy, opponent. You deflate your the boat, the subskimmer, the pontoons, and you submerge and then carry on as a submarine into the tactical operations. So there you go. So that is what we will be doing on this one.
Right. So it's an SDV.
Yes.
So special delivery device.
A much smaller scale to obviously the real vessels out there.
That's right. The real ones had something around sort of somewhere between 4 to 8 guys, and possibly some bigger ones. They were never put in mass production. Very stealth, special forces, very secret squirrel stuff. Exciting,
yes, exciting. So there you go. That's this will be continuing on part 2 on this episode. And what will we be doing on part 2, Richard?
So yeah, so part 1, continue on with that. Part 1, we made the design in CAD. We printed it out on the K1 printer, 3D printer. We painted it, sanded it all down, and then we started the pontoon build. And,
yes.
And in this one, we're going to continue on constructing the inflatable tubing, completing that, making it as airtight as possible, and then we're going to jump into thrusters and then into the 3D printed outboard design that we've made and printed out.
So there you go. That's
lots to do.
That's a lot of information. Hopefully your brain isn't fried too much, but there you go. Let's jump into it. And we have to thank all our sponsors. Thank you very much for tuning in.
And we have to thank you.
And there you go, thank us twice. So thanks, and here we go into this episode. And
3, 2, 1, race! We jumped into software and made the subskimmer.
Yes, designed it, then started printing all the parts out in 3D printing.
And there were a lot of parts to print out.
And then we all glued it together, jumped into sanding, and then started painting.
And then we made the pontoons with PVC material.
Yes, the proper stuff, the boat making stuff. And now, let's join us as we carry on. We have just got some new glue. We've been to the shop.
We've done the first bend. It's a little tricky. At some point we're going to have to go through with some water or some little soapy spray to see if we've got any leaks.
Hopefully we don't.
Hopefully don't. And if we do have leaks, hopefully they're not too much of a deal to repair them. So what do we think we'll do next is...
we need to put the end caps on, so these fellas.
We need to put the end caps on, the cone of silence.
The cone of silence, and we need to put like another bend in there because...
sort of there.
Hang on, I'll lift it up so you can see. It kind of needs to be another little bend before the end on the front. There you go. So let's get cracking. Okay, here we go.
Okay, what's next then?
End 3 working on this piece here that we just made. There you go, so that's the motor mount all done. We've got 3 more to go, and they're going to go over here.
Okay.
So they're going to sit about there and over there. There you go, the motors will sit in there. There you go, that's it right there. Here we are, and we're back at it. And what have we been up to, Richard?
Gluing.
Just gluing, really. And now we will continue on. We got to get rid of this big giant hole at the front, which you really couldn't inflate air into that at the moment. And then maybe we'll cut this one out. We need to prep it for gluing, and then we will put it together, inflate it, and see if it holds. Okay, there you go. We're going to put some mask on, and away we go. So what we'll do is we'll let that tack off now. Don't want to stick it to that. And give it another 15 minutes like we do, and then we'll be right back at it and heat it up. Okay, so add a bit more glue, and then we'll just wait for that to dry, and then we'll be able to seal up that nose. And then what do you reckon, Richard?
It'll be all good.
It'll be all good. Okay. Okay, so there you go. This is what it will look like. We need to wait a couple of days.
What, 3 days is it?
3 days, I think, for the glue to bond.
And then that way we can see what's happening on it. And the bow looks quite nice with it flat like that. Yeah. Just give it a go, right? That's all you can do. Looks good though, doesn't it?
I think so.
Protrude too far. These are even at the back there.
And then we just need waiting for, what are we waiting for? Waiting for the motor zero.
The drive motor, drive system.
The drive system,
yeah.
And we can still install all
the submarine thrusters that go on there, so we can do all that. So I think that's what we'll work on next, right?
Leak detection.
Leak detection. So hopefully,
I think there might be some air coming out here on this side.
Right.
But we'll check.
Which part are you going to do here? You're going to.
If you pump it, and I'll be able to put this down. And see what happens. Oh yeah, there you go.
So maybe put like a little. When we find one, maybe put like a. Maybe put like a
little marker.
Yeah.
The bubble here. Here. And,
yeah.
And one there and there.
Oh yeah, those.
Some bubbles detected. There you go, so there's some bubbles detected, which is a bad sign, but hey, we will get there.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll wipe with the detergent and then dry it off.
Dry it off and then go and put some glue back on it, and then hopefully, second time around, we get it sorted.
Okay, so here we are. We're just doing these, some thread locker on these bow thrusters or dive plane thrusters here on the Subskimmer. So that's what I'm doing here. So these little PETG 3D printed mounts that we made on the creality printer behind us here. Yeah, so here they are. Just finishing up, tighten them up evenly.
And they get mounted into the thrusters over there then.
That's right, so another design that we did. So there's that part done. So there's the motor thrusters. So that's all attached properly and happily.
Yeah.
So that's all fine. So we can go tick on that one. And then what we'll do is we'll put that in like that effectively. Something like that inside there. And then the propeller will go inside the shaft. It has to go in a bit more. And then these will act. There'll be rear thrusters over here on each side. And then there'll also be the dive plane thrusters. So these are the ones that dive into the water, and they'll be able to tilt with a servo, so like that, so you can thrust it into the water. Once obviously it's submerged and deflated to act into the water submarine activities. So we'll get onto it, and no time like the present, let's get it done.
Thruster they have a max thrust of 750 grams. There you go. So now the biggest kick out there, but for underwater operations, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Like that, and there's the motor. These are on the packet that they are designed for multicopters. So this is technically it is a multicopter, but a multicopter underwater. A thread locker here. What kind of filament are you using, Richard?
So this is sparkly black from our good sponsors Kiwi Fill.
Sparkly black.
So
kind of looks, yeah, you can see the hit there. I think I'll bring the light in.
Yeah, so there's a bit of sparkles in there. The reason why you have a chute is because obviously it's around this inflatable tubing, and we don't want any holes unnecessarily.
And also that's how the original, the real ones are.
That's right. Yeah. So we keep it
authentic. There you go. It's looking all right. We'll just trim that up and get it ready, and then it'll be good, and we'll carry on putting it in this one. This is the fourth and final motor mount that we need. Here it is. Can you spin it around so you can see from the other angle? So, and then they've got a little hole on the side, haven't they? And that part there is the part that's going to go over to there.
So they go like that.
Whoa, looking good. Looking quite good, eh?
Yeah, and then they'll go up and down like that. So we're making the outboard for the Subskimmer. So we're in 24% here with the K2 Plus, with the CFS from Creality that have helped us out, and it is making the cowling that will be the fastest subskimmer, that 3D printed subskimmer there is in existence, because it's the only one, so it has to be the fastest. And yes, we are going to put a high-speed engine into it. So more than likely, pretty much guaranteed really, it's going to be pretty quick.
And at the moment, what's the CFS doing?
It's changing over between is it the blue? It's going between blue and the black. So it's currently pulling in from the black at the moment.
And then it'll go into the blue.
That's right, yeah. So there's going to be a pretty high torque motor inside there. This is just the cowling. And we're using PLA Hyper, or Hyper PLA as it were. And yeah, it's going pretty good. The cowling is done on the K2. Ta-da! It is working on the various plates that make up the outboard. So it's working on the cowling over here, and this guy's working on the motor attachment and special fins that a Subskimmer requires. So there we go. Okay, so here we are. It is glue, or should we say more glue?
More gluing, yes.
So we've done heaps and heaps of gluing, but still not enough.
Not enough gluing, and we're going to glue this pontoon to the 3D printed hull.
That's right. They're going to be a married couple.
Yes, and then we're going to put maybe some strips on to hold it structurally. So there you go. Okay.
But first we're going to do the tricky part, which is do the main gluing. Yes, and once that's dried, then we can do the extra. What do you call it? Reinforcements?
Yes, so we're going to inflate it a bit, and then let's get it ready.
Yeah, let's get into it. So it's glue time. Yes. Well, at least it's the heating part of the glue time. So we're ready to add the glue.
We don't want to put too much heat on because it's 3D printed, so it might melt. So we just do a light heating, and hopefully it sticks. We haven't tested it. From the last little fixtures to the bottom of the hull and the top, and just a couple of little strips along here, and that way it looks all clean and then looks super smooth on the water. (3,722 18,000 kV motor with a little fan on the back, designed for boats. And we've got our 3D printed plate there. I think it's PETG, I think it is. And we're going to join them together. Going to put a bit of thread locker, and let's get into it. Outboard time. Here we go. It's been bolted on there. Drive shafts all to the right length. So we're going to join this part, and this part. That's how it will fit inside the outboard. Collet should go there. That should go there, and then this one should go into there. Okay, collet going in at the moment, it's spinning like that, goes forward and back and through. How's that, better?
Yeah.
Transom's there, ready to go, and we're going to put this bit of carbon in there.
Look at that, eh? Woohoo! Look at that.
Yes, it's looking good. Okay, so what we do now is we will put the transom in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to attach the outboard to the back here, and we're just going to use a tiny little dollop of glue on each end, and we're going to put the carbon rod through there. Alrighty, put it on there. Okay, so there you go, it's all together now. It's working there. Actually moves really well balanced. Like really smooth actually. You will go on top like that. Just to give you an idea of what reality is. So just like that, we have come to the end of this segment, but don't you worry, we'll carry on this build and we'll send it out on the water and under it.
That's right, remember to subscribe because you don't want to miss that one.
It should be fun.
Certainly something that I wanted to do.
Yes, it's kind of a secret squirrel project, so there you go. Not much is known about the Subskimmer, so it's kind of exciting to jump into it and share it with you guys. It's kind of been an interesting adventure. History lesson. There you go.
That's right.
And history making.
There's certainly no designs on it or anything like that. It's entirely just looking at the picture and then sort of taking our inspiration from the original pictures to make this a reality. So it's quite exciting design that we came up with. It follows it quite closely. Obviously, you got to scale things and stuff like that to make them in miniature, which is sort of around what,
an RC kind of thing.
Yeah, RC kind of thing. But it follows it very, very closely, surprisingly. And it was quite interesting to make a 3D printed outboard. It was quite exciting.
Yes, that was your highlight. Cool, nice. And for me, it was just putting the. For me, the highlights was just making the miniaturized, fully inflatable pontoons. It was kind of an interesting challenge. Just trying to get your hands in there and working it out at that scale. I know it's still quite a large build, like it's like 1 meter-ish, I guess. Yeah. But it's actually an interesting challenge.
Quite fiddly.
Quite fiddly, kind of interesting, and yeah.
Quite a challenge.
Yeah. So, okay, move on to the next segment.
Movie of the week is.
Okay, so the movie of the week is actually the trailer of the week. So the trailer of the week is Tron Ares.
That's right, so movie to come.
Movie to come, so it's on its way. Yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you check out the trailer for that one. And when the movie comes out, I'm sure it's going to be cool. Yeah. With Jeff Bridges and Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars, so it's pretty cool actors
right
cool
there. Cats there.
And it's a great series if you haven't seen those movies.
That's right, so it effectively just carries on from the previous one, which was Tron Legacy.
There you go.
It's exciting.
It's pretty cool. So that is the movie trailer of the week?
Yeah. Okay, final thoughts, Harry. What was your thoughts?
Final thoughts, just looking forward to putting it out of the water, setting it on its way, and then when you flick that switch, down she goes, and then up she goes. You don't want to just to sink, that would be sad. No. But it's just interesting. It's coming to the end of this particular build, and I just want to see it out of the water. Can't wait.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's quite a unique build. It was quite fun coming up with the design in CAD software and stuff because there's some really unique challenges. Obviously, a normal hull, is to keep water out, but when you're playing with an inflatable tube, you got to allow for the
and when you're making a subskimmer, ultimately you want the water to come in, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's right, because it doesn't have a what's it? Transom. Yeah, it doesn't have a transom because we want the water to come in.
Okay, so an interesting design. So here we go. We'll go out onto the water on the next episode. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you check out part 1 of the making of the part 1 on the link above.
That's right. We've got a little bit more electronics wiring to do, but we're pretty confident we'll get out on the water in the next one.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, so thanks so much to our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. I'm Harry.
I'm Richard.
We'll see each other next week for something exciting.
That's right.
And 3, 2, 1, go!